I don't make my living as an auto mechanic, but I do rely on my 3.5 trucks to make a living. And so within my limits, I like to do my own maintenance. If you're the same way, you're going to want to check out this product. This is the Robinair coolant refiller and airlock preventer. My first experience with this was a good one. Check it out. Let's go. All right, so this guy does two things. It will create a vacuum in the cooling system before you add any fluid, and you can check for leaks. The second thing it does is it will add coolant to the system free of any air pockets. It will force the thermostat open, and it's supposed to make the whole procedure a lot more convenient. If you're going to need an air compressor, we have our adapter connected to it. It uses a rubber, this is like a hard rubber universal fit, and that part goes either into the reservoir or into the radiator itself with the cap removed, which this one doesn't have a cap, so we're going to just put it in the reservoir and see how that works. There's no fluid in here now. I just replaced the radiator. I was using this old one with JB Weld covering a massive crack. And you know what? I woke up this morning and I decided I don't want to live like that anymore. So this is a great opportunity to test out this device. Let's see how it works. All right, we got our air line hooked up to it. This valve is closed. We're going to go ahead and put that guy right in there. Make sure it's snug. We don't want any air leaks. All right, and then we depress this button, and we're going to expect our lines to become vacuumed. So we're going to watch this upper radiator hose, and if there's no leaks, it should cave in on itself. Do this so you can see it. All right, now the gauge is going up. Yeah, that's a vacuum. The gauge right there. Let's just let it sit for about 15 minutes. See if it moves. All right, 15 minutes later, our gauge has not moved. Great, because I reused all the old hoses and all the old clamps, but now I have peace of mind that I can fill the system with coolant and it won't leak. Let me also share with you, during the vacuum, I was just more comfortable holding this down to create a seal here, but once the gauge went up, I let go of it and it maintained a nice tight seal. So that's, you know, it makes the product better than it would be otherwise if I had to hold it the whole time. So that's good. All right, I'm gonna fill Harbor Freight with some coolant, and then this here is going to be our suction line. We will open up that valve and it's gonna fill up. So let's do that. All right, we've got our 50-50 mix. It would have been nice if there was a weight on the bottom of the suction line, but there isn't, and it kind of wants to float, so I put a zip tie here on the handle. Not a big deal. All right, so I've got the bucket elevated because that's just gonna make it easier for the suction to occur. And the line is kind of short. All right, so what we're gonna do is open the valve and Watch the fluid enter. Okay. And then we're going to bleed any air that we might have introduced to the system. All right, a little bit, you probably didn't see it, but a little bit of fluid came out of these little vents here. So now I'm going to start filling. We now have air entering the line, indicating that it is done doing what it is intended to do. I'm thinking if this thing worked as well as it's supposed to, we may have completely filled to the full line. Weak battery. Okay. I mean, if it stays right there when it's cold, I'd say it might be perfect. By the way, I forgot to mention the heater is fully open. I did that before we did anything. We are just about at normal operating temperature. And our reservoir is pretty much right where we want it. I haven't seen a single bubble come out of that. We've been holding steady operating temperature for about 10 minutes now, and the coolant level is about just a couple inches from the fill line. So if you do use this product, you may at the end need to do a little bit of topping off, but there's no purging air, there's no burping the system. If you only do a coolant flush once every 5 years, this product may not be worth the money, but if you do your own radiators, water pumps, multiple vehicles, then this is a good one. I think you should get this product. All right, see you.